Big up, everyone. It's your girl Sofia, aka Sophie, back here on Sophia's Football Talk for a special show, which is not Man United related. Okay, I'm just gonna be a host today, and not focus too much or at all about my team. We're gonna, be having a match preview for arguably the biggest game of the season in the Prem. So I decided to focus on that game, which is of course, Manchester City versus Arsenal. So I invited some special guests for this match preview. We have Vader, Vader Games, big up, Man City representative. Are you good, bro?
I'm good, large up. Thanks for having me on the show. I've
You're
admired your
welcome.
channel for a while now, and it's an honor to be here. Big
And
game.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to be here. And we have also a debutant. We have Fran, a Arsenal supporter from Golazzo. Right? How
Hey,
are you? You good?
yeah, I'm really great. I'm so happy you invited me on because I love speaking to other like female football content creators.
See.
There aren't enough of us, and you're so nice and really know your stuff. So I'm
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited to get into this.
Oh,
Uh,
I
Love
appreciate it.
it.
Thank you. Oh, awesome. This is gonna be a good show. I have linked both of their channels in the title, but also in the description box. And I actually did also link a friend's website. She do sell like her own
Oh,
merch and whatnot.
thank
I
you.
did, yeah. So you can take a moment to pick up your stuff, friend, because you're doing some good stuff with your website.
Now.
Go ahead if you want to.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, I my main thing is goal art. So, because I do football art, so I've got these like paintings I've done of our players and manager. We've got Martinelli.
Woof.
So I do these all by hand, and they take about like 20 hours.
Wow.
Um, got Mr. Trossard. So there are a few of them, and there are like more on my website. But yeah, these are all done in like colored pencil and stuff.
Yep.
And then what? And I painted that behind me. That took so long. But the main
Wow.
the main thing I'm working on, my next one's actually a Man United like combined Arsenal T-shirt. So I
Come
turn
on
the
now.
drawings into like graphic designs that you can see
Yes.
like behind me, and that's kind of what I sell. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for letting me do that.
No problem. You're welcome. No, I think it's super cool, and we need more women in the spaces, whatnot, and
Hey
I love
man,
bigging people up. So big up to you for sure. Keep up
big
the
up
good
to you
stuff.
too.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me say hi to the comments before we start the show. Big up Bobby K, Spurs fan. I mean, it didn't go so well for Spurs lately, but hey, it is what it is. Big up Ravi, Liverpool fan, KFC delivery, Man City fans, as Arsenal have done well this season. Oh, to bottle the title. Ooh, a slight, dig there. I see
I
you,
saw
KFC.
that. I saw that.
I was like, oh, that's nice. And then, bam, a little jab. Okay. And KFC says we're going to win the treble. I mean, I disagree, but hey, we will see. Oh, Vader will, might be some issues, but he'll probably be back very soon. KFC says Liverpool versus Chelsea is the biggest game, the great relegation battle. Yeah. Oh Lord, have mercy. I like to call that the El Shitico when Liverpool and Chelsea been playing this season. It's not good. Huddersfield Town Fan TV says hello, big up Sophia, big up to you too. LVFC TV says big up guys, big up panel. Yes. KFC says big up to you, friend. Hey, great artwork. I agree.
Thank you.
Yes. Big up Jordan, Liverpool fan. Yes, impressive art. Yes, yes, yes. I agree. Come on, people. I'm showing up for Arsenal's funeral tomorrow. No offense, Gooners. We have a Liverpool fan here. I mean, he knows how it is to going back to back with Man City, so I get that. And
Hmm.
EK, which is a Newcastle supporter, says, "Big up, folks. The same to you." El relegation, Nico. Yes, 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 indeed. Ring Lord 2 says, "We all hope Arsenal win. United win FA Cup." I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say we all hope, but hey, we move.
I'm
You
back.
want
Sorry about
neither
that.
to win, Sophia.
Yeah, to be honest, it's
Sorry.
it's a horrible scenario, people. I don't want to be here in this scenario with seeing like, okay, who's gonna? I don't know. It's horrible, but it is what it is. So, Vader, how do you feel with how this season has gone? Like, talk to me. Speak about Man City. Go ahead.
The okay. The feeling's great because we're playing so consistent. And how could I, or how can any fan of any club be upset when their club is qualified for a FA final, still in the mix with regards to trying to win this league,
Hmm.
and then also in a semifinal with regards to Champions League? Like, there's so much going on, and it's a time to really be excited for the club because I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been a fan for Manchester City. These type of competitions, this level is loved and admired by all. So I'm I'm enjoying it for what it is. Um, this three-peat would be so sweet. We've got an Arsenal that stands in front of that, and deservingly so. They've been fantastic
Agreed.
all freaking
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
So
Until the
it's a
last three.
well, even that, but Arsenal are showing so much resilience because these aren't losses. I know that they've dropped points, but
Mm,
it's like it's also resiliency to not take losses, and
yeah.
so there's a lot of fight in them. I'm excited for the game because I agree with you, Sophie. This is going to be the biggest game of the season. There's a lot writing on it,
Hmm.
and there's so many narratives, right? Manager, former assistant manager,
Oh wow, that's true.
players,
Hmm.
former players,
Former players.
um, and there's also the fact that Arsenal have they've whenever they've been tested, they've answered, and this is like I'm confident in my club 100%, but it's also Arsenal know how important this game is, so it's going to be a very difficult match. I know that.
Hmm. Oh, I get that. And how do you, feel with? I mean, I'm born and raised in Norway, so I'm heavily into like watching, the Norwegian men's national team and then the women and whatnot. So I've been following, both of your,
Mm.
Norwegian representative in terms of, Erling Braut Haaland for Man City and then Martin Ødegaard for Arsenal. But how do you feel with I mean, Haaland's impact for this season? It's
So
insane.
I don't know. All right. I don't know how much. Well, you said we got an hour, so I'm going to make sure not to use up an hour talking about Holland. I'll, because I
Please
easily
don't.
could. I easily could. But
Yeah.
the even dating back to when it was rumored that he was coming to the club, there was just this energy. There was just City's done the false nine for so long. Who's going to be the next to step in for Aguero? And a lot of us had our hopes on would he be as good as what he's kind of touted to be, or could he remain as consistent with his goal scoring coming to the Prem and coming to City? And no lie, he's exceeded what many even thought or believed. And there, no, I don't care who you are. You're lying to yourself if you said, "Oh yeah, I expected Holland to do this coming to City." No, not one person is being honest saying that. He's
Mm-mm.
had he's continuing to set records. He's fit into a City system that many players struggle year one. You've seen the adaptation that Pep has had to do. You've seen
Mm,
how players have had to adapt from playing a false nine the last 2 years to playing with that him as and that type of striker because he's very different from Aguero.
mm,
Yep.
And
Agreed.
you also see on how we've kind of have to adapt defensively too, because being completely critical and objective, Holland doesn't cover ground. He doesn't press the way we've kind of seen from a
Hmm.
Jesus in past years or even Aguero when he was here. So there's been that adaptation, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. I love the attention that he requires from defenses. Even with regards to Arsenal, Saliba's not there, and he would be a huge difference had he been there. But
Yeah.
it's every defense, as sound as they are, have to worry about Holland, whether it's preventing him from getting the ball or shutting down the
mm,
supply line. He causes so many headaches. Past years, no disrespect, but players, I don't think we're losing nights of sleep worrying about who's going to be playing in that nine position for City.
Hmm.
They, yeah, maybe they'd stress with how they're going to try to stop the system, not have City have so much ball possession. But I don't think they really worried about, oh, the player in that 9 position is going to torment us. I don't think they ever had that worry.
I see that.
Holland's different that way, and it could have been Harry Kane over here two
That's a
years
good
ago.
point.
It could have
Yes.
been Harry Kane, and I thank my lucky stars that we don't have Harry Kane here. United are rumored to be in the mix for him,
I
so he
mean,
may be causing problems somewhere else. But
Kane,
I'm
come here. I'm not complaining. Come over to the red
exactly,
side of Manchester,
exactly.
brother. But yeah.
But a choice to have a young Holland, 22 years old. Um, yeah, I'm
It's
enjoying this
crazy.
year. I'm enjoying this year.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I knew he was going to do well, but not this well. Like, I didn't
Oh,
know he was going to do this. Like, let's be
crazy.
honest, this is just beyond, this is a robot. Uh,
Has he been DNA tested yet? Is he fully
that's what
human?
we might
Uh,
need to try to check that out.
I'm sure someone's probably picked up a glass that he's drank from or a water bottle. I'm
Or
sure
like
he's been
hair
tested.
strain, just
Yeah,
something, okay.
I love
but
the
he,
guy though. Sorry,
Yeah,
as a rival fan, I just as a person, he's hilarious.
he
he's so
is.
he's
Like, it's
so
something with his
deadpan. Like
demeanor that you just kind of like, yeah,
I
go
just
ahead,
like. Have you seen that video of him walking in the wrong like part of Manchester? He's walking in the Man
Yes.
United, and he's just like
He's
he
like,
just
I don't
doesn't
care.
care.
I'm just about
He's,
what? What
he
are you gonna
just
do?
doesn't care.
yeah,
I just like as a person, he's hilarious and
He really is.
obviously amazing. So
Exactly. I mean, for me, like it's like the Norwegian bias of me makes me like I'm happy for him that he's
mm,
doing so well. Putting Norway more and more in the
yeah.
map and
yeah,
whatnot. Although of course there's been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and other Norwegian players, but this is a different level. This we haven't seen this before. Like
yeah,
when you talk about Norway, oh Haaland,
It's the
but people
yeah.
right. So that's pretty cool. But brother, I need you to show up for Norway's Euro Cup qualifiers, or
yeah.
else it's a wrap for us. So that's
Yeah.
that's what I need. But Fran, what do you feel with your team Arsenal? Like how you guys missed that of top four last season to where you are right now, potentially maybe still able to get that big
Okay,
trophy,
okay,
the
we'll
Prem
start
title.
with the positivity of the entire season.
Go ahead.
So last season we were seeing glimpses and passages of play, like this fluid football and kind of one-touch passing, but something would kind of always go wrong. We were struggling to get the final ball in and stuff, but there was promise there. And over summer they must have just like worked their asses off, basically, if I'm allowed to say ass. um
You are allowed.
and basically those glimpses of play turned into like how we play now.
Hmm.
And it's just been so beautiful and amazing to watch, like the passing and the intricate way that we like progress the ball up the pitch and all the way that the players interweave, and it's so beautiful. It's just been amazing to watch as a fan. Better than uh, there's this whole thing. It's like, oh, our aim was only to get top four, so it's exceeded that, and the expectations
Yeah.
have even gone higher than that throughout
Hmm.
the season. So it's just been fantastic. Saliba's been incredible coming into defence. Like again with him, there was a question of well, how will he transition back to the Premier
Hmm.
League? Because I think he was like Young Player of the Year in France or something. I
Yeah,
can't
I heard
remember.
that. Yeah. Mm,
Um,
been really
and
good.
he came in like a duck to water, basically. He's so physical and so calm on the ball. And that's been a real feature with our defense up until recently, of being super calm on the ball.
I get that.
Um, and yeah, it's just all been amazing. We've been flying high. But recently things have taken a bit of a turn. But I still think we can do it. I think we can do something tomorrow. But we've made it really hard for ourselves. So yeah.
No, I get that. I mean, yeah, yes, Saliba will definitely be a big miss for you guys
Uh,
tomorrow, which is, unfortunate, of
Yeah.
course. But then there should be others to still step up. How do you feel with Martin Ødegaard with him being
uh,
captain? How has his impact been for Arsenal in your view?
obviously he's fantastic. He's more of a captain that leads by example and just keeps his head
Agreed.
down and works.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we're kind of crying out for someone to like rouse everyone and be like, guys,
Mm.
and he's not really that kind of captain. He just gets on with what he's doing quietly and so like technically brilliant. Um, so he's really great. Really upped his game from Madrid, where they didn't know if he was going to make it or not, and
Hmm.
that's been kind of a feature of Arteta taking these players that like have had potential, but like they're not really fully hitting it yet. So Trossard has like completely just like risen and like
Oof.
blossomed. Odegaard,
Yes.
Saliba, Gabriel, Martinelli. Like the player development is, whew, it's
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I've forgotten the question.
No, I was just thinking it's completely fine. No, it was more so in reference to like how do you feel the impact of Ödegaard has been as a
Oh
captain
yeah.
for this Arsenal team?
Yeah, there's kind of sometimes though, although recently it's been all right, he can sort of like disappearing like big games a little bit. Like
Yeah.
sometimes he doesn't really step up, but then he'll just like get a goal out of nowhere, and you're like, oh,
Mm.
you are on the pitch. So
Good point.
he kind of summarizes like what we are as a team, which is like young, hungry, like technical, hardworking. So I can see why, like character wise, yeah, he is captain. But I
Yep.
personally like captains to be a little more like shout
Vocal
in the
maybe.
player's face.
Yeah.
Yes.
That might be more so like with Granit Xhaka potentially.
We've been there, done that. Never again.
Yeah.
But
Eh,
his
but he's still a
redemption
leader
arc.
figure, you know. He's still
Oh
like,
yeah,
even
he
though he
is.
doesn't have that, but
Yeah,
it kind of goes with like
I
Thomas
think I've
Partey as
managed to
well, and
see like why the managers each time have been like, no, I'm not dropping him, because we've all been like, why is he still in the team?
yeah,
And this season, since Arteta's switched him forward a little bit, so he hasn't got so much defensive responsibility, which was,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that was when things were not good. He'd like karate kick people making a break and stuff, and just red card. Um,
ah,
so now
yeah,
he's a bit further forward. He's
yeah.
really
He's
able to like play his game, and you can see the leadership in like a good way, not in like
mm-hmm.
an angry I'm gonna knock out a player kind of way.
My observation, outside looking in, I kind of see leadership in moments like on the pitch, and I know they don't have the captain's armband, but I see Gabrielle doing that
Mm,
in defense, and I've seen
yeah.
obviously Zinchenko at times when you guys do the huddle up and you get everybody on
Yeah.
board, but it almost seems like there's a little captaincy by committee at
Yeah.
times
Yeah.
amongst the club,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah.
interesting. I think I think because of that, many individual leaders is why you guys had such a successful start to the season, because it there seems to be whenever there was like a little thing needed, someone stepped
Mm.
up to do it,
Mm.
and I think that was a big reason for your brilliant start, and
Yeah.
Yes.
it's
There's
it's gonna
such yeah.
yeah again, we'll see how this season ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those experiences amongst those players and your squad, they pay dividends next season because there's that built trust and security
Mm.
amongst everybody. So I'm glad that it's in development. I'm glad it's not established yet, because
I
you guys
bet.
would
I
be even
bet.
more fierce of an opponent. But it's a great problem for a young squad.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
indeed.
just the chemistry between everyone, and like they're all kind of really similar personalities. You can just tell, and like the unity between them and the fan base is amazing, and the crowd in where our away fans are amazing. They'll be
Mm-hmm.
super loud tomorrow. So Arteta's done that. He's built that like community and our identity back. And I don't think he gets enough credit for that really. So yeah.
No, yeah, credit to him. I mean, this season, it pains me to say it, but they look like a unity. They look good. It's I've been watching several. I mean, for me, like I'm just a lover of football. Even
Me
though
too.
there's rivals and whatnot, I watch whoever, you know. So I've been watching
Same.
Man
If
City
there's a
games.
match.
Exactly, I've been watching Man City games. Watching Arsenal games as well. So especially when it comes to Arsenal, they do play like a proper team. They just, I don't know. It's
There's
Yeah.
a
something
real
different.
yeah. it's nice to actually see like a style and know
Hmm.
the starting lineup and
Yeah,
how we're sort of going to progress the ball. Whereas in the past, it's just kind of been like hope for the best.
exactly.
So
No,
yeah,
I
it's
get that.
really, really good stuff.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
Well, Sophie,
Go ahead.
you
Yep,
you'd asked me the question like, how do I feel about the season, right? Earlier,
yep. Mm-hmm.
and the competitive side of me, right? The competitive side of me,
Yep.
I look at the season and I'm like, Arsenal have been brilliant. Arsenal has actually they've forced City to not it's not maintain a level. It's really to
Mm-hmm.
raise their level because
Yep.
there's been so much consistency coming from them. And if I take a step back, and this is no shot, no salt, but you look at how the other clubs have fallen off this season.
Mm-hmm.
Had it not been for Arsenal's brilliance, like this would have been like a comfortable let's try and win a third one for Manchester City.
You're not
But
lying. Yeah.
yeah, so it's
Arsenal
one of
took their
those things.
opportunity. It was an opening. Teams have been dropping up and whatnot, and they deserve to be where they are, regardless.
Exactly.
You know.
They deserve to be and
Yeah.
again, I think that same push, right? When I look at my own club, that same
Yep.
push I think has allowed us to quote unquote be in these conversations to win these other cup runs because
Yeah.
if Arsenal wasn't pushing this level of quality, I don't think that's still maintained in an FA Cup pursuit. I don't
Mm,
think that's still maintained in the Champions League. It's like that consistency. So it's obviously they say iron sharpens iron, and I think
Mm.
it's Arsenal's fire this year that's
mm-hmm.
kept this mix and kept City doing it. So I expect the same with regards to this game. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're coming to the Etihad, and we know
Woo.
what the game stands for. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. I may be sounding calm right now, but my knee's twitching here. I kind of have some nervous tendencies at times thinking about the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Arteta may do.
That's the thing as well.
You
Yeah.
Me
know,
neither.
Yeah.
he's got
Although
a
I actually think I do, and we'll get into that. So,
okay.
Okay.
go on. Sorry,
Ooh.
carry on.
No. That's good.
It's actually quite comforting to hear that you're like somewhat nervous because we just see you right now as like this unstoppable force, and it's just like you hit form at that time that you do every season, and we're wobbling, and it's just like oh it's like Thanos. I am inevitable. That's how we
Love
that's
that.
how we see that's how we see you guys at the moment. So to know that you've got a little bit of nerves going into tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
makes you feel a bit better. But I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. This match is so
Yeah,
important for us.
and it's
Yeah.
it's not nervous like lack of confidence in the team. That's
No. No. Yeah.
it's nervousness because you like what
Mm,
wrinkle can Arteta do? Like because we know that they both managers know each other well, so it's
They
like
do.
what might Arteta do for this game? Because again, the form hasn't
mm,
been as consistent, so maybe he's looking to change something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and is it personnel wise? Is it instruction? Is it
mm,
maybe choosing to make it a make
mm.
it a difficult game to break you guys down because you do have the
I hope
quality and
so.
speed. You do have the quality and speed to maybe do something like we've seen United do
Yeah.
and catch us on the counter and play more on the transition. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Hmm.
just like
I
so
just
my
don't see him doing that. No, yeah, I know. I
yeah,
know.
I don't think so either. I think Arteta does Arteta ball. I think he plays Arsenal type
It's
ball. But
annoying.
but then I'm like, oh, what if? And it's still
I know.
now yeah.
I want to see like something different, but then it's like, oh, the reason where we are is because he stubbornly played Arteta ball against
Yeah.
everyone. But I do just think like with our defensive frailties kind of and maybe a lack of confidence in the last few
Mm-hmm.
games, conceding 3 to bottom of the league Southampton, it would be nice to just
Yeah.
see one in the first 25 minutes. It would be nice to just see like a bit more of a defensive stable start to the game and we kind of
Yeah.
build from there. rather than everyone pushing up, and then you've got Haaland on the break. But I honestly think that
Oof.
it's going to be a very similar lineup and battle plan, because when we played you guys last season, everyone was praising Arteta and Arsenal for like
Yeah.
playing our game and bringing it
Mm.
to City and stuff. And I think we still lost, I'm pretty sure. Or we.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it was a difficult game, but playing at the Emirates was difficult.
Mm.
I think it was a 2-1 win at the end of the day, but it was a very difficult half that we
Yeah.
had to deal with you guys.
Every
So,
I feel like every time we've played you the last few years, like we've kind of got like more and more competitive
yeah.
with you. You're holding it like a draw for more and more of the game, and then normally it's just like a defense. Like we tend to just do something dumb, and then you can't do that
Mhm.
with City because you guys are so clinical.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it's a really interesting fixture.
It really is. Oof.
It's so
It-
exciting. Yeah, and obviously like Pep knows they're both like really cerebral managers. So Pep's going to be thinking like, oh, it's Arteta. It's like poker or something.
Yeah.
Will it
Yeah.
stay the same or will it not? Or like chess.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Chess,
I,
like,
it's
okay,
so
it's your
exciting.
turn. Da, 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 they'll go back and
Yeah, like
forth.
what are you gonna do?
Oof.
And Pep's
even
playing his
like
mind games as well.
even a game of chicken, right? Like two cars racing to each other. Who's gonna blink? Who's gonna flinch first? And I'm just like, are they gonna try to? My system's better than yours, and I'm just gonna prove it, or I'm gonna
Right?
tweak this and
Yeah.
see whether you can figure it out.
I
That's
I think Arteta, it would be amazing to have something unexpected, because if he plays like the way that we always play, Pep has like already figured that out weeks and weeks ago. We'll know exactly how to stop us attacking, cut off all our channels and stuff and hit us on the break, especially with holding now. So I'd love to see, an unexpected entity in there. And for me, that will be Trossard. Um,
okay.
because you guys know exactly how Jesus plays, and for me, I'd love to see, yeah, just something unexpected. We won't switch up formation because like
Well,
we've had the same
Yeah.
system all season, and quite annoyingly. um, but we're top of the league, so
so it's
yeah.
worked, but could it be maybe potentially that he might change it up a little bit, try to be a little bit more defensive? I don't know. Regardless of what he does, and I'm referring to Arteta, it will be interesting. You know.
Yeah.
I can't
Uh,
wait to get my teeth into it, the lineups and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Let's just read some of the comments here. Big up to Wolves. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Big up to you. There's also some questions here for both of you that I did save. Um, let's maybe go to the city one. Ooh, okay. From Ravi. Question for you, Vader. Thoughts on John Stones, how he's been able to transform himself. By the way, I rate John Stones. Incredible player. Underrated. Love him.
John John Snones. What do they call him? They call him King of the North.
Hmm,
The the thing with him, and if you, for some that may not know, he's been at the club since 2017. Like
he's
he's
been a
been with us for
time.
a while, and
Yeah.
and with that, he's he's grown into his own, and Pep completely trusts him now. I think early on, Stones had his difficulties staying fit and maybe being into the system, but the what he did for us last year, playing at right back versus Real Madrid in that semi,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't fully fit either. He kind of blew a tire having to deal with Vinicius, but the trust with him is evident, and Pep's put him into that inverted role. And there's games early in the season where Pep actually had him play at DM, and
I
there's
know.
just so much given to him, and he's shown a calmness and just a maturity, and I can't praise the man enough. There's just so much trust between him and Diaz in that tandem, in that pairing. And I think I was one of those things pre-game when we were looking at the Sheffield United game. I was like, "Oh, Rodri rest, check. John
Mm,
Stones rest, check."
check.
So I'm really happy for that. I'm expecting both of them to play.
Yeah.
I'm expecting both of them to play, and he's key defensively. He is so key to what we do,
Really is.
especially in terms of trying to stop the opposition. But when we now have possession, he's making great decisions. He's sometimes
Hmm.
getting in and advanced roles. Recently, he just scored a beautiful goal, weak foot, off of a volley. So he's key. He's absolutely amazing. He's had a phenomenal season.
Oh, 100%. Very good. Also, another defensive player here, Ruben Diaz. Thoughts on him this season?
Ruben is like the
Ruben.
general, the general. And again, I know not so much you, Sophie, not so much you,
Yeah.
but many rivals want to talk down Ruben Diaz. They don't quite say he's all hype, but he's so important to us because
He good.
he command like so you need a voice back there. You need a voice
Yeah.
that's telling others what to do,
Yeah.
and when you hear his voice giving the commands, everyone listens.
Hmm.
And we've
It's
noticed
important
that
to have that, like a leader
we
figure, in that defense.
100%.
Good.
And not many will credit to the our recent form defensively, but it's really attributed to him because
Yeah.
since he's come back into the lineup and he's been playing consistent, and Pep took his
Hmm.
time. He didn't rush him back, but since he's been back, you see a calmer Ederson. He's not running out doing crazy clearances. He's not being a crazy sweeper keeper. But you see a calmer Edison, and you also see better decisions in terms of how the line's being managed, moving up, and that nature. He's not the
Mm.
quickest defender,
No.
right? But what he does add is strength, positioning, and he also has that mentality that he drags everybody to be accountable. Um, and you'll see him put his body on the line, trying to prevent balls being kicked on net or forcing some blocks. And you
Hmm.
need a player like that.
You
And
do.
um, and
Yeah.
and yeah, and him, Stones, and again, I'm not going to use up the entire hour, but what I've seen from Ake, Stones,
Shout out to
and
Ake. I feel like he's been. This is me. Like, I'm trying to be like neutral as possible. Like, I think he's been probably maybe the most consistent Man
yes,
City player in my opinion. He's been very good.
He's
He,
what
everywhere.
yeah,
Whenever I
he
watch a
has been.
game, he's just, oh, Ake's got
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
legit. That's exactly what
he's
it
been
is.
everywhere,
Yeah,
and he would be talked up a lot more. Like he would be talked up so much more, but he is injured. Like he suffered a
yeah.
little hamstring strain in
Oh,
that
that's
last game. Yeah, in
yeah,
that Bayern game. So
yeah.
he's rested. He's on the shelf right now.
Mhm.
I think that's quite
Mm,
interesting that you kind of focus on how amazing your defense is, because the narrative really is around the Haaland thing and your attacking play and De Bruyne's like sexy balls and stuff. And I
True.
hadn't even thought about like, oh yeah, no, they've actually got a really good defense. And now that's something else I have to worry about. Thank you.
well, we actually do share this because your defensive play or your defensive system is a big reason on how you've been so consistent throughout the season. And I,
Agreed.
I know that unfortunately the injury to Saliba does change things up. Like
Hmm.
we all know, Holding doesn't have the same attributes as Saliba, but
Mm.
defensively, you guys and how you've been high in terms of your press, how you've been
Mm.
able to even move the ball defensively, trusting it to Saliba's feet and Gabriel's feet. Um, it's been a problem. So it's
Mm.
it's a thing that both of our clubs share. I don't. It's something that again, media wise, they always talk about us offensively. How could you not when you have, Haaland up there setting goal scoring records, and you have, like you mentioned, some of the perfectly weighted passes that KDB magically does. So when you have that so consistent, it's easy to overlook the defense. But I, and again, United fans know this because they've won Champions League. You have to be so sound on both ends, and I think that's really
Yes.
been the difference to us this year. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not counting my chickens yet, but how we've been defensively, I think, is why we've been so sound
Yep.
within the Champions League result wise.
That's a good point.
You got a new member.
Oh my God, Daily Tech. Thank you, Daily Tech. We got a new member. Big up to you. I
Nice.
appreciate it.
Woo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. If there's anybody else that wants to be a member, you get a customized badge next to your name, customized logos, and member shoutouts. Also, sneak peek into upcoming content, maybe behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
All
You
right.
never know.
All right.
All that
Yeah,
stuff.
sign me up.
Yes, member community tab and all that. So, yeah, the link is in the pinned as a comment, but also in the description box. And if you're watching on the browser, you can just click the join button right underneath the video. But yeah, big up there,
Right.
Tick. I appreciate it. Thank
Woo!
you. Yes, Fran, there's also some questions for you as well.
Here we go.
And Ravi, big up to Ravi and Amir. Y'all have been putting questions. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, I love
Fran,
those guys. Hey guys.
yes, yes, for sure. Let's see here. Ooh, thoughts on Arteta if he doesn't win the league?
I feel like my questions are going to be like a criminal interrogation. I feel under attack. Right, so I did like a 2.5 hour stream with like some really negative people and some really positive people. It was
All
so
right.
funny. It was so funny. So there was
Ooh,
some that were going like, Arteta needs to go if we don't win the
wow.
league and stuff, because they're on like the high standards thing. They're like, it's just not
Ah,
good enough. We're like 4 years in. If we had Ancelotti in charge, then I
Oh
don't
my.
agree
oh
with that
wow.
at all. But
Yeah,
I love hearing like, why do you think that? And
yeah, like
then someone
elaborate on what.
else
Yeah, I get
saying,
that.
why do you think that? And normally they end up like learning different bits from
Mhm.
each other and not necessarily changing each other's opinions, but
Yeah.
just discussing. And that's what I love. And of course, there's people which I'm kind of more in the camp of, although I'm kind of a middle grounder. I tend, tend to sit on the fence a little bit.
Yeah.
But I love Arteta. I love Arteta. He should not go anywhere if we don't win the league. Because I don't think, as I
Agreed.
was saying earlier, people put enough credit on his name for. He came into the club and said, "I want to rebuild the identity. I want to rebuild the identity of the club. I want to bring the players and the fans back together, completely like, yeah, because it's been so toxic and like just the atmosphere's been so dead at the Emirates and stuff." And
Yeah.
he's come in and he's actually done that. It's often when a manager comes in and says, "I'm going to do this, this, and this," you never actually. It's just words, isn't it? But he's come in and actually done that through making wholesale like backroom changes. He's like completely changed the diet of all the players. They have like different social events and stuff. um, so that side of
Aw.
things is just so like important with the unity that we see on the pitch, of course.
Mm,
And also with the fans, if you were to switch out Arteta now, um, you have no idea how fragile this kind of feel good factor in the Emirates
Yeah.
is. You know, so fragile, so hard to build, but it can take like one moment to rip away, and then suddenly the fan base is all toxic again. So yeah, what he's built, every fan agrees, whatever they think about the end of the season and stuff, that the Emirates has never like rocked so much. Um, the argument for why they would want him to go is like he's still learning on the job.
mm,
It's kind of, we're going for the Prem now. This isn't like a classroom. Um, Whereas I see it in a slightly different way, and it's actually amazing that he's doing this well so early on in his managerial career.
mm-hmm.
It's like, it's kind of like a prodigy thing.
Yeah.
So of being so inexperienced and doing this well in a couple of years, where will he be and stuff. And I think
Good point.
it's a really good thing. Like, look at him, he's so new to the job and he's this good.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were to get rid of him and then he's going to fulfill his potential elsewhere. Of course, there
Ooh.
have been kind of growing pains and stuff, and sometimes we see the odd like in-game management
Yeah,
and
yeah,
odd
Yeah.
substitutions and stuff, which is
yeah,
definitely like a thing.
yeah, yeah.
He brought on Kivior the other day, not
Yeah.
Jorginho,
Not gonna
at
lie,
Anfield.
didn't understand that. He had a hell of a
Kivior was
dancer,
like
but you know.
played like one game in the Prem, and
Yeah, yeah,
boy,
yeah. Did make
and
sense,
then he
but hey,
started Vieira at Southampton, which I understand, and
yeah.
hindsight's 2020, but some stuff you're just like, what? Oh, like,
Mm,
what are you doing?
the
exactly.
thing,
So,
the thing
um,
that I'll say, sorry, real quick,
keep going. Yeah.
is I don't see him making big mistakes twice though. Like I
True.
think that's one
True.
thing that you want to see in a manager is, well, do you learn from your
True.
mistakes? So
Yeah.
Very
unfortunately,
true.
too many fans are quick, fire the manager, let's get someone else in. But
Mm-hmm.
No.
He's
What's
he's earned it.
yeah, sorry, there are a few like tangible examples of like stuff he's actually learnt from. So last season a big criticism was we never draw games. We either win convincingly or we're just like letting goals in. And this
Mhm.
season obviously what he's done is tightened up defense and we've got a lot more draws. We've only lost 3 games, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And kind of the substitutions happening earlier. And I still don't think there's enough squad rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely doing it more. And you can
Yeah.
just see constant improvements and revising what's gone wrong, what not to do. And I think that's why it's so foolish to say, like, oh, he's not done well enough, because we know that he will do
Mm.
better. And
Yeah.
his mentality, you can tell, like, this guy wants to win. Like, he's
Yeah.
not kind of just there, like, you know, I think it's more about like giving him the tools he needs, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to
Agree.
fulfill this ambition. He's already come through on the promise of rebuilding the atmosphere, so now it's just allow him what he needs to fulfill the promise of the Prem and the Champions League. So yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I think that's a very good point there, Fran. I mean, I feel like, okay, y'all have been overachieving whatnot this season. You're in a good spot then, and whatnot. So I'm thinking, if you know you don't end up winning the league and whatnot,
Mm,
it will be more so like, okay, we go again next season. Okay,
yeah,
get a
it's
couple
not.
more signings. What can we do next season?
Yeah,
It'll be Champions League. Can we go far in that
so
competition?
disappointing.
You know.
I feel
So
you. I feel
yeah,
you. I mean, I wouldn't say Arteta out, but I would say like
yeah,
a lot needs to be looked at in terms
of
of like
course,
the transfers and maybe Edu
yeah,
and that kind of thing, because we really missed an opportunity in January to what we were how many points clear, and we could have really upped the level, and
yeah.
instead we've got some kind of lower. Well, Trossard's been insane, yeah,
Trossard, I think has been very good.
but
Maybe the January
yeah.
signing of
Oh,
the
he's so good.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
so
he's
good.
really
You
good.
know, his hoodie. No, his wife messaged me and asked me to design, like, draw him and design a hoodie for her and her kids.
Oh my
Wow.
So,
goodness, that's
right.
amazing.
So I
Ah,
sent it.
big up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I've got a soft
Wow.
spot. She's like,
Oh, I love
it's
that.
mad, right?
That's very cool. Come on now.
I only
Yeah.
have like
Yo,
300
large up.
Instagram followers, and then somehow she like found it. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, it just
Y-
shows. I guess my point is that like he's just a really nice guy. He's got a really nice family. Like he's so grounded.
Yeah.
They're all so supportive of him. Like his head's screwed on. I just yeah, incredible signing. But I'm waffling again.
No, no, no. Hey, hey, this is space where we just, we just do whatever. So big up yourself and be proud because you're doing
Thanks,
amazing.
dude.
Real talk. Yes. I do have some more questions, but I think I'm gonna save them at the end. But I want to talk about some team news. So I mean, we did address. Okay, so Nathan Ake, I would assume, right? He's not
Yeah.
available for
He's not
tomorrow's
playing.
game.
No.
Is there any other players that are not available? Is Phil Foden back? Would he be
Phil
available for
Foden is
tomorrow?
back playing.
Okay.
Does he start? I don't think he would start. I think ooh. No, I don't think he would start. I think Pep would still
Ooh,
go with Jack
Jack
He's
has
Grealish
been
on the
good.
amazing.
left.
I agree, friend. He's been very good.
And
Jack has showed up.
Yeah.
Mars just had a hat trick in the FA Cup semi, so
I mean, you
does
kind
Pep
of
drop
do
him?
need. I
I don't know.
mean,
Yeah.
I
it's
don't
it
know.
technically is a good problem to have. You got options to pick
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. The
Ooh,
thing is, your options are so like similar in quality. There's not like so much of a drop off. Whereas our options, there's a real like drop down in level, and it's yeah,
Mm,
quite disruptive. But
mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I would sound like the biggest jerk if I said, "Oh, no
Oh my
Foden,
god.
I have to play Mares." But
Oh,
the
horrible.
terrible life's
It's
ending.
okay. It's okay.
But
So,
they're the interesting thing from a fan standpoint is they don't do things similarly. So
mhm.
I am very critical when Mars is on that pitch because he does not track back as
Ah.
attentively and aggressively as I would see Foden do.
Mhm.
So there's just the differences when you see the players and what
Yeah,
what Pep may ask of them.
I get
Um,
that.
but yeah, it's
Foden's a
going to be
little
interesting.
pest to play against.
He is. He
He's so
enjoys
good with
playing
his
against
hands.
Arsenal and Liverpool. So
He's so annoying.
um,
Mm-hmm.
now
Scored a
that
hat
you know
trick
what,
against us. I mean,
I
he
haven't
had to
taken
have.
the time. I haven't taken the time to really think if Pep would start him because
Mm,
he's just coming off of that appendicitis, so he had that.
Mm.
yeah, that
Um,
surgery, I believe.
yeah, I'd say
Maybe
maybe he gets subbed on.
coming on as an
Yeah,
impact.
Yeah,
energy
as like an
sub.
option, you can put up
Yeah.
from the bench potentially. So,
Mhm.
is there anything else in terms of the team news?
Team news, health wise, everyone else is good to go. Ake's the
Okay.
only one that's definitely going to be shelved. Foden
Ooh.
probably brought on slowly, maybe
Okay.
as a sub,
Yep.
but everyone else should be good. And if it's telling, like I said a little earlier, the players that rested in that FA Cup semi are most likely going to be on that pitch for the match against Arsenal.
Okay.
Pep's so good at rotation, like for real. Sometimes he just puts out like it's nearly a B team, isn't it, in some of the cups and
Yeah.
stuff, and you still get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
It's
so
annoying.
good, so good. He doesn't
it's
get enough credit for the way he's like
he
totally
he,
switched things up
Yeah,
since Haaland came. You know.
he doesn't.
I
And
agree.
in all fairness, some of the quote unquote poor form that we had earlier was because Pep was so deliberate in terms of I'm having rotation. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm having Sergio Gomez play this game. I need to see whether he can do it. I'm
yeah,
having, maybe at the time when Calvin was healthy early on, I'm subbing Calvin on because I need to see what level he's at, right?
yeah.
And
Oh,
even defensively, when
yes.
there was a different
Really
combinations
good
of the back
point.
four, there was a point where
Mm.
Walker was a given. He's going to be starting,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
now not so much with how we're doing things inverted. Um,
His over the season management is something that Arteta hasn't reached yet. We've come out the starting blocks like in a 1,500 meter race, and we've just sprinted the first like
yeah,
kilometer. Whereas Pep's been sort of slow, and then they finished with the sprint finish.
yeah. One thing that
So good.
Pep admitted in a yeah, I don't know if it was a pre-conference. It might have been. I think most likely it was a post-match conference. But he said
Mm-hmm.
getting many of these players that have been at the club with this success um, was difficult to have them listen to him with the same attentiveness because they're like, yeah,
Yes.
Pep, we haven't even hit Christmas. You're yelling at me to be so specific and to be on. Come on, man, it can't be that serious. But he kind of said like, at this point in the season, everyone's listening. Every
Yeah.
player is ready to
Yeah. They
to
start to
respond.
click,
And
because there were
yeah,
people saying like, "Nah, it's different this season. Has Haaland made City worse?" And I'm like, "What are you
yeah,
guys talking about? What?
I
They
know, I
always
know,
have a rough start. They
and
start to click at the
and
business end
and
of the season. People, come
and
on."
and again, I wasn't looking, and again, the accessibility to what was happening team by team, I didn't
Yeah.
have. But when United were doing their three-peat, I'm sure that Sir Alex he was tapping into different things to keep these guys motivated for that third year. It's
Yes.
only natural. So Pep
Yeah,
is
for sure.
is doing a phenomenal job to keep
Hey,
these guys
Yeah.
at this level because
I
I'm
agree.
we
Especially
know
when you
that.
look at Liverpool as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yes,
Yeah.
and how
Very
that
good
drop
point.
off can be. And I have to say, not
Thank
so
you.
much the players that left in the transfer window. I'm not suggesting that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that Cancelo was let go in this
Mm.
January window, I think speaks volume because we
I think so too.
we didn't have the body, especially for alternatives at left back, to just say, okay, Cancelo, get out of here. So I think Pep made a choice on who's listening, who's on the same page. You guys remain here. Cancelo didn't match that, and it's better to have a healthy,
Mm.
good group in the locker room
Mm-hmm.
than one that's maybe off, not on the same page, disrupting things. So
Yeah, Arteta's must have got that from Pep then, because like we had to do the same and get rid of Oba and mainly
Yeah.
Oba, the
yeah,
Urzuls and those guys. It's so important, so important the
yeah.
unity.
Yeah.
It, even taking away because even again taking away the captain armband because Xhaka had that at one time. No,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, so Arteta's done his thing in terms of
Yeah, yeah.
Here's how I'm managing this team, and you're
Yeah,
either
like
on
this
board
is
or you're
my
not.
team. You better listen. It is what it
Xhaka's
is.
like the
Yeah.
unofficial captain still, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I love it, but you
I have a
can't have
soft
the
spot
art.
for Grand Shock. I don't know. I just, you know,
Me
I like it.
too. I can't say that, but I do. Well, he's had a mad redemption arc, as we
Yeah,
know.
yes,
I,
So
yeah, 100%.
yeah, and it's crazy though. Just real quick, like for a player to be that hated at a fan base, so many will just be like, "I'm out of here. Like I'm not
yeah.
rebuilding this, getting booed every single game and stuff." But to actually stay and work to get the people that hate you
He's
back
shown a
on
mentality.
side is such a testament to his character and
Yeah, yes.
perseverance. It's
Because a
yeah.
lot of people would, not everybody would be able to cope with that. Some people would be like, you know
Right.
what? F this.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah, if
out.
I upset someone, I'm like,
Come on now.
bye.
Bye. You don't want me here?
Bye.
Okay, fine. I'll find another place.
Sorry,
But
bye.
right? So big up to
Yeah.
him for being able to turn it around and still
Yeah, it's
be that,
crazy.
figure. But yeah, Fran, in terms of your team news for tomorrow, I mean, we know Saliba's out. Is there anybody else that's out or any newcomer you want to add?
Xhaka's a doubt last time I heard earlier today. He's had some
Okay.
sort of illness. Not sure
Ooh,
what. So
there's
as
been a
you
lot of
know,
illnesses lately, I feel like. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
For our team
yeah.
as well, like we've had that throughout. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like the way the managers phrase it. Maybe he has got like some sort of minor injury, but you don't want Pep to
mm.
know that. Like, yeah, just keep Pep guessing. Um,
I get it.
mind
Big brain
games,
energy.
mind games. Galaxy brain. Have you heard that phrase? Pep
Yeah.
like galaxy brain moment
Ooh,
where he just like
okay.
completely overthinks something. So sometimes in the Champions
Yeah.
League, it's like, oh,
Yes.
Pep's done a galaxy brain because you're like, what the
Yes.
hell
Yes.
is this lineup?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
it either goes amazing
I've
or you're
heard it.
like.
I've heard it too many times, unfortunately.
Okay. That's
Anyway,
funny.
no, but he's a genius. Let's
Oh
not
yeah.
cap.
Wait.
So question. Yes, Saliba's obviously out
Hmm?
for the rest of the season now. It's basically just been confirmed.
Oh, I
Yeah,
bummer.
probably for the best though. Probably for the
Hmm.
best. You don't want to screw around with back injuries.
Yeah.
He needs
Good point.
surgery on it basically.
Ay, ay,
If
ay.
if he were to play, it sounds like something similar to what I did. It might be like a problem with his disc. So I cracked a disc
Oh
in my back
wow.
because I was
Oh,
overtraining for athletics and I was like deadlifting. Weird flex, but okay. I
Oh
was
wow.
deadlifting like too heavy and like even though it hurt, I like and with the wrong technique, I carried on through the pain, just thinking like, oh, it's fine.
like it's fine,
Um,
and
Oh
then
wow.
and then
ah,
I got a scan. It's like, no,
yeah.
you've cracked a disc. Like I
Uh
couldn't, I
oh.
couldn't run for like months because I trained through it. I couldn't impact it because that would
Ow.
make my back vibrate.
Mm.
So those kind of injuries, like
Yeah.
you gotta nip it in the bud rather
Yeah.
than play through them. It's just really
Yeah.
unfortunate, like at this stage
It
of
Wow.
the
is.
season.
I get that.
Um, so I've got no problems with him being out.
Yeah. At least like
But
you
otherwise,
take
apart
that time to
yeah.
to to, to heal
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just
Otherwise,
let that get.
apart from that, we're all good. All good, I believe. Of course, Tomiyasu's out all the time, which just adds to our
Oh
defensive
Lord.
kind of issues.
Yeah.
He's like the backup we brought in, and he's made of glass. So
I mean,
it's
we know
basically
about that, with glass and whatnot. Hey, Anthony
oh, you
Martial made a
guys, your
biscuit, so we
injuries,
know.
Varane, all of them, just dropping like flies.
Yes.
I
Legit.
feel for you guys at the moment. I'll come on
Yeah,
at
we do.
another time and talk about Manchester United, if that's
Oh yeah.
okay.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
FA
yeah.
final. We'll be talking.
oh yeah, yeah. We will. We will. I'll have you both here again for future show for sure. For the last
Oh,
few minutes,
cool.
let's do predict the lineup. So, Vader, how do you think Pep will set up Man City for tomorrow?
That is like the most difficult question to ask.
Yeah, I know.
How is Pep gonna set up? Um,
What, or maybe actually rephrase it. What do you want to see for tomorrow?
I think I want to see Pep do his same system, what he's been doing in Champions League and what he's
Mm,
done at times within the league. So
yep.
he's flat out played with a back three. Now it's a little tricky because that back three was so sound and consistent when we had Ake. So
Oh, good
The reason
point.
why it's so
Yes.
difficult for me to answer that is Pep could choose to go Laporte, Diaz, Akanji, and then choose to put Rodri and Stones kind of like in that
Mm.
dual pivot role,
Yep.
or he could, or he could choose to put Bernardo Silva in
Options here. What
in
the?
a wing back
Yeah.
role. Like, but I'm gonna leave it
Uh,
as Laporte,
Like,
Diaz, Akanji, and I'm gonna go Stones, Rodri in the defensive
that's
mid
so
in the way,
solid. That's so solid. That
it
little pairing.
is.
Whew.
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna go Jack, Gundogan, KDB.
Yep.
I'm saying Mahrez right now. I'm gonna
He's
say
in great form.
Mahrez. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Mahrez, and then up top we have the man
I mean
Erling
the
Haaland,
Viking. We know.
the
Gotta
striking
know what your
Viking.
Viking up
Yeah.
top. Yeah.
Striking Viking. I love
Stri-
that.
Love that.
Uh,
Put that on the shirt. Striking Viking.
I should do that. Make a Haaland shirt and
You
then put
should.
Striking
Hey,
Viking.
There you
let
Yeah.
me
go.
let me know what your prices are. Let me know what your prices are.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. No. I send them sometimes to YouTubers like free of charge if you'll promote. So
Oh,
maybe.
okay. No, say less. Say
Oh.
less.
Say less.
Anyway.
Hello.
But yeah, that's my
Love that.
that's my that's my guess at the 11.
Hmm.
There could be a Foden in there as a start. I wouldn't be surprised if Pep did it. Does
Mm,
Pep
Okay.
choose to, like I mentioned, does maybe Pep choose not to have Mahrez? He choose to put Bernardo Silva out there,
Mm,
and throughout the
yeah.
entire game, we might see Silva play there, but we might even see him come and play at left back. Like the versatility that Pep might do throughout the game, it's all over the place. But I think if I'm going to go off a little bit of recency and form, and again, like Fran mentioned, because Holding's there, maybe Pep chooses not to be, maybe choose to be a little more
Oh,
adventurous
Fran.
offensively. Maybe.
Thank you, Sophia, for your sympathy.
Fran.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been there. We got Maggie. I
Oh,
know. I know.
it's
Mm.
it's yeah. I'll get into that, I suppose.
Yeah. So how do you see your team being set up against Vader's team?
It's always a question. It's like, what would I like to see and what I
Yeah.
think's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I would like to see something different. Have Trossard start. He really deserves a start.
Yes. Has he
Gross.
been
He
start?
really
He
deserves.
has maybe
Who
He's really.
started,
drops? Who drops
but
if he starts?
Um, that's a tricky one. Um,
that's a good
maybe
point. Yes.
Jesus. Maybe Jesus.
Wow.
Um, or Martinelli. That's the problem. That's the problem. Or
Martinelli has been on fire the last
I
few. I mean,
exactly. It's hard to
Southampton.
know
Oof,
who to drop.
he
I
good.
mean, I would like him just now. Xhaka's back though. I would have had him in Xhaka's position because
Mm-hmm.
Trossard's like an assist king. Yeah, imagine him just behind Saka, Martinelli, Jesus. Oh, that would
Mm.
be
Ooh,
that would be beautiful. But
that would be
Xhaka's back,
saucy.
so
Mm-hmm.
I imagine he'll come on as a sub. He's
Yeah,
really good. But he had
I
such
like
a
him.
solidifying presence at Southampton because we were all over the place, and he comes on and like he's so sound, like so solid. He's such a good player.
Yeah, no, he is.
So I'd
Agreed.
love to see him start, and we could have that confidence from the start. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Arteta's not actually going to mess too much with basically our preferred 11 and then just with Holding instead of Saliba. That's really what I see happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want that to happen. But if
I
it
I
does
see.
happen, then yeah, you
Then
heard it here
hey.
first. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think you see it in Arteta to like come with a surprise? He just never does that, basically. So, well,
I
he
Ooh.
does in a bad way, like when Kivior started.
Yeah.
well,
Ooh.
well, this
Ooh.
is that's
No,
this is
no,
where I was at with a little bit of nervousness,
Vieira.
right? Is like, what might Arteta be cooking up? Because again, he would have had the week to prepare, and well,
Yeah.
actually not quite, but maybe in the background, there's always been okay. When we face City, here's what we're gonna do. Maybe there was kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a City plan. Um,
I hope
but I
so.
think, yeah, to your point, the fact that Saliba is really your main injury, and Xhaka will kind of see.
Mm,
But I think he probably goes. And here's the thing that I think is a little unfair with regards to Arteta. I think the fan base continuously label him as young, right, or new to it, or learning on the job.
Yeah.
So if he were to stay with what he's been doing, he's going to get
He can't win.
labeled as,
Yeah.
yeah, he's going to be labeled as he only has one system, right?
Mhm.
If he then tries to adjust something based off of
Yeah.
maybe a weakness in the squad that he's trying to strengthen, or maybe an opportunity he sees against City that he wants to exploit, if he introduces that and it doesn't pan out, he's
Yeah.
going to be like,
It's
he
yeah,
doesn't
it's
know,
exact
he's inexperienced. So he's in a tough
yeah.
spot.
I was saying
Um,
exactly that. He does one or the other, he's gonna get criticized.
yeah, yeah. But
You're
he's
Mm.
right.
he has been a pupil under many good managers, right? Like
Mm.
we've all heard, he had so much great influence from Arsene Wenger, and obviously most recently he had the influence from Pep. So I think hopefully many more of the fan base will be like, Arteta's going to set them up for what he thinks is best, and we ride,
Mm.
do or die.
I think that would have been fine. I think like a few weeks ago, if we were playing you, we would have had like
Yeah.
no doubts. And then
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
just like the
Yes.
shaky performances. We're now like second guessing, like, does he know what to do? And like, I
Yeah.
think we're a very dramatic fan base as it is. So this isn't helping. Yeah, it's
That's a very good
crazy.
point. I mean,
But
it'll be interesting.
we
Go ahead. Go ahead,
uh,
Fran. Go.
but I think what will happen is rather than really radically switching anything up, he will have been working really hard with the team to minimize that holding effect.
Mm.
So I think he won't be changing it all up, but he'll just be tweaking it. And because holding, actually, he's all right defensively. It's more the way. There was this article on Sky News about like the differences between him and Saliba in terms of progressing the ball. Um,
Mm.
Holding's like way worse at that. And when we're built on building out from the back, and you've got a weak link, like the players actively like avoid passing to him.
I I
Um,
wanted to speak on that. So if the players early in the game, because this is what often happens as I watch City, Pep doesn't necessarily have the players go to, okay, here's how we know we want to attack them. There's sometimes where the ball gets moved around and it's going side to side a little bit to see what are the defensive shifts, right?
mm, mm,
And then there's also Pep will disguise how he presses at times. So it's not necessarily as soon as the ball gets given to Holding that we're going to press and apply pressure. It's more so to see, well, are you choosing to pass him the ball, or are you avoiding to pass him the ball? So
Ooh.
if that gets figured out pretty quick, then the traps are laid out differently. So that's what I'm going to
Mhm.
be really interested to watch.
Mhm.
Because if it is a no, let's pass
mm,
despite Holding and move it differently, then
mm.
the press may be applied to one of your more sound players,
Yeah, it's
and
true.
that'll be
I think
interesting.
the way that we really come with confidence is if he spent this week setting up like a plan, and he's just been honest with the guys and said like things have really
Mm.
changed in the structure like since then, but you're going to do this, you're going to do this to protect Rob, and Rob, you're going to do this. And because I think it's really like shaken their confidence a little bit because Saliba's
Hmm.
such a big presence. So if they've got a proper plan for the holding situation, then that could be really important. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy,
Woof.
it's
Woo.
crazy.
Yes. 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 Oh, wow, this has been a very good show. I have a few
So
more
good.
questions. Yeah, I've been loving it. A
I've
few more
enjoyed it.
questions, and then I would love to hear your predictions at the end. Ooh, can I wait? Oh,
Oh, he doesn't
he'll
want to
come
give
back.
his predictions.
I'll let you answer some questions for you, Fran, while
Okay.
Mary comes back. Let's see here.
Ah,
Ooh,
it's just such a stressful
I get it.
time.
Question from Ravi: will Arsenal have better squad depth when it comes to coping with the Champions League next season?
My answer to this is we better. And I've got like bones to pick with our transfers sometimes because we kind of with the Arteta's like, I want this player, I want Vlahovic, I want Caicedo, I want Mudryk, and they kind of deliver like the next best thing, the
Yeah.
slightly cheaper option.
Yeah.
With Trossard, it's been great, but
Yeah.
like, so yeah. This is the summer where I really need to see that the Cronkies are doing this on purpose and they mean it and they want us to get to the top level. Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like Arteta's overachieved with like not world class signings.
Good point.
So now I want to see if they're gonna go like, oh my gosh, like we better back him now. So yeah, I because lots of people are like, no, they're doing amazing. Like, look, we're top of the league, but I don't think that maybe that like I need to see if that was by intent or just like Arteta doing crazy well with what he's been given. Because
Ah.
you know what's so frustrating is just like we've seen with the Chicago LA Rams, right? That's their other. So they've got a American
Oh, okay.
football team, I think it is.
Oh.
And the Cronkies like decided like, okay, we're going to invest in them, invest in a young manager, and within like a couple of seasons, they won the Super Bowl. They built this like
Ooh.
multi-billion-dollar stadium, um, and so we know when they put their mind to it, like
Mm-hmm.
they can bring a team to an absolute top level. And they focused on LA Rams, and they did that. So now I need to see: are you focusing on Arsenal, and you want to do that too, or is this like your side piece still a little bit? So just
Ooh.
yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I mean that you've we'll have to wait and see what the real answer will be from them, you know?
We need a big
Yeah.
transfer window. I was so disappointed in
I think so
January.
too.
We
Yeah,
need.
because you had an opportunity like you guys were at the top. Yo, give us the last puzzle pieces. Is what,
Literally.
you would
The
want to
And
see,
market's gonna
right?
be fierce though. Like,
hmm?
because Fran, the market's gonna be fierce because
Mm.
you're gonna have Sophie shopping in the same store as you. You're gonna have you're gonna have Liverpool shopping in the same store. Like there's a few players that I think many are gonna have as
Mm.
targets.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be
Newcastle is
very
in it
competitive.
as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with potentially getting
I mean,
Euros
But
and
like,
whatnot.
Chelsea shouldn't be buying anything else. Their
Yeah.
their stock should be full.
Todd
But
B, stop it.
yeah, yeah, they need to stop.
mm.
Yeah.
But
You
there
gotta
are going to
block
be a
that
lot of
card, man.
shoppers.
Block that card, Todd B. You're doing too much,
Yeah.
brother.
But like Cronkies act like our owners act like, oh, we don't have enough money, like and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like they penny pinch, whereas we're like something like 4 times wealthier than Todd Bowley, and they
Yeah.
just don't flex it like at all. And they're building this multi-billion-dollar stadium, but it's still like, oh, can we get it for 40 million and a pound? Those
Mm.
sort of settings. So it's
Oh
just
no, I get that. It's like,
I
you know,
flex
just
like buy 120 million
it's
Jude
okay to
Bellingham.
flex a little. Like, come on, you gotta flaunt it, brother. Come on.
Exactly. Money
Yes,
talks. Money
money
talks.
talks. It's the tough world. Money talks, people. It is what it is. Now,
It is
it's
what
gonna
it
be,
is.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, what Arsenal would do in the transfer window for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, after how the season, you know, ends
Mhm.
or concludes. But yeah, question here from Jordan says, basically to you, Fran, can you guys? Whether or not you think you can win the Premier League, because he's tired of Man City winning it. This is a Liverpool fan, by the way. It's been a while. 19 years. You guys have been waiting to win the Premier
I
League title.
know.
Go for it. Stop Haaland. Stop
I
him.
know. Ah, I still think we can. But I'd like to ask Vader.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a possibility that you guys will drop any points in pure, purely,
Th-
just research purposes?
Yeah,
yeah,
asking for a friend, Just
this this is the funny thing, and I alluded to it a little bit. I think the players needed a target, and the target's been Arsenal. I think that's why they've been so laser focused. I I
Uh-huh.
am a little I am a little hesitant because when we did, well, and again, I think it was maybe what 3 days when we were top of the league after
hmm
we did our thing. We didn't match that up with consecutive wins, right? And we ended up dropping points. So
Yeah.
I don't expect the same because but it could happen because we've gotten past you guys. You guys have been that target. Could we maybe just could
Yeah.
the players have a little bit of a letdown in terms of uh, we can breathe a little bit because after playing you, we play Fulham, I believe, and then there's also a couple weeks before Champions League, so there might be
Yeah.
You've
a
got
little bit of a
Brighton
lull.
as well at
Yeah.
Yeah,
some
I
point.
think Brighton and West Ham are our 2 games in
Yeah, two
hand.
games in hand. Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
think the Brighton game is not on, or maybe it's West Ham. Forgive me, but I think it's late May where we have to
Oh,
make up
right.
that game.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I
yeah,
think
that's
so
the
too.
only thing that I kind of think like, okay, we've
That's
gotten
fair.
past Arsenal. Maybe there's a little bit, maybe not immediately, but there's that risk.
It might also like revitalize our team if like, oh no, now we're behind, we must win, because
Yeah,
it's so much harder to be chased than be the one chasing, because you're just,
Yeah.
have you ever been in a swimming race or a running race where
yeah,
you're in the
yeah,
lead and you're just, and then
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
suddenly oh, I just
That's
would
Oof.
tough.
love it if you did drop some points, please.
I I don't want to. I don't want us to. I don't want us to. But even if I'll be, it's definitely possible because again, even before the 3 draws that you took, I myself said, oh, that's every game. I was like, oh, Arsenal's getting their 3. Like it was just looked at it that way because of the
True.
form that was happening. That so for me to say that there might be a team fighting for their lives that make it difficult for us on that day, and we get a draw or we happen to lose, it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be beyond us. The form
Yeah.
that I'm showing, I'm confident that we don't, but it wouldn't be beyond us because this league right now, when you look at how the points battle, I call it the points battle because everyone's so close in terms of
Yeah.
their point tally that they're fighting for something, and I'm not going to put it past anybody. Look at what some of these results
Southampton.
are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the business end
Yeah.
of the season. Like, you guys are in a title race, but it's also, teams in a relegation battle.
Mm.
They need points as well. So they're
Yeah.
going to be up for it. They are
We can only
legit
hope.
fighting for their lives, fighting to
Teams
still
playing
be
for
able.
Europe. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
So that's what I love about the Premier League. Like it's so unpredictable and it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. If we
oh
if we win every game from here on out, in answer to the question, then we win the league. I believe.
If
Um.
you win against us, yes, and win every game
Yes.
out, yeah.
okay. So that's
It would
okay.
just make it
Hey,
a whole lot easier
imagine
if
though.
you were to drop a couple of points.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think if we draw tomorrow and we win our remaining games, we win the league. If
Yeah,
my
I'm pretty
math is right.
sure. So,
Yeah, we'd have to win
I
every
don't know
remaining
though. I
game.
don't know. I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, but it's still a tall task because there's so many games left to play. You
Ooh,
got me thinking, but I'm just focused on tomorrow. I don't want to think about after that. Tomorrow, tomorrow.
Because
focus on
also,
tomorrow.
yeah, as you were saying, you guys have got the other competitions to worry about, and that's why it's so embarrassing for us if we don't win the league because we threw away all the cups.
Yeah.
So
But how did you
that's.
feel about that, friend? Because I remember, there were some Arsenal fans being like, "Yeah, but we got bigger
I
fish
was
to
upset.
fry
Oh,
and whatnot." Yeah,
bigger fish to fry.
it's
God damn
okay
it!
if
It's
we're out
not.
of Europa League. Whoa.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I wasn't too happy about it because that's a really great chance. Those games for the rotation stuff. So if we do need those players in the Prem, like for example, Holding, he's had like no minutes now because we're out of the cups. It's just been playing the first 11
Yeah.
every week. And of course, winning a cup and going further in a cup like really builds like the morale and things like that, and like the winning mentality, and like we're.
Yeah.
So I think it is, yeah, it was disappointing, and definitely a progression next season is to see us staying in all the cups longer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right. Hey, very good point. Yeah. And few more last questions, and then the predictions, people. Question here. This is a good one. Amir has a question for you, Vader.
Ah,
Talks on City's academy level this season so far. They just won some trophies. Eye
Yeah,
emojis.
under 18s, they're doing their thing, and then it progresses on the way up. It's such a great battle on the men's and women's side as well in terms of what we're seeing. But when many talk about the academy, they talk about kind of like the feeder system. So on the boys side or the men's side, they've been so consistent, and again, it's
Mm,
one of those things that doesn't get quite talked about. Yes, when you
I
think of
agree.
Manchester City, you think of, oh, they spend, they spend, they spend, but there's been such a great level of business with some
Yeah.
of the players that we've been able to sell, as well as some loans. and
Yes.
it's paying dividends because these players are getting their experience, and the academy is fantastic. Any parent that's choosing to send their kids there, I think they're not making a poor decision, and I think it's also not a slight for
Mm-hmm.
any academy kid not to make it into the first team. Like
Yeah.
when you look at the quality of the first team, there's no slight for any academy kid not to be called
Oh
up
no
from
no.
Pep
Mm-hmm.
to play, right? Especially if they're a midfield player. Like, how are you going to get past KDB and Gundogan or
Yeah, the competition
Bernardo
is
Silva,
big,
right? It's
Yeah.
fierce. So an amazing talent in Lavia.
Oh,
He's doing his thing, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
you
I
know
like
that's
Lavia.
another
He ripped us apart.
talented player.
I mean, he been ripping up a lot of teams, Fran.
Okay,
Oof,
that makes me
that
feel
He's on
better.
the
yeah.
radar
Put
for
your
a
hands
lot of
up if
players,
you've
a
been
lot of
personally
teams.
victimized by Lavia.
You know what? He did his thing against us as well. I know he's over there, but he did his thing as well. So it'll be interesting because I think I've seen. I don't think not so much United, but I think Arsenal's kind of been rumored to be looking at him. Liverpool were rumored to be looking at him.
Yeah,
So
I don't think we have. I would love to be, just deep diving a little bit.
yeah,
Why not? Check the water, see if he wants to come to the red side. I
yeah.
wouldn't mind. Yeah,
I
I
th-
think he's
I
really good. I
he's
rate
very
him.
yeah.
So young as well. I didn't even know. What was
Yeah,
it, 19 years old or something like that?
yeah. I
Really
believe he's
young.
19. So he's
Wow.
young and he shows great potential, and
Yes.
he's young, but he's showing kind of like a mature command in that position. But yeah, the academy has been a blessing, and it's progressed year after year. So we'll see what kind of crop of talent comes out of there. One player, Rico Lewis, came out of there, and there was a stint where he would play first team and still go back and play with them. But this year in particular, he debuted for us, played in the Champions League in his debut, youngest player to score a goal. So we've got a good thing working. And again, for players to be sent out, whether it's on loan or at other clubs, it's the right thing to do for a player. They need that experience if they can't play here at City. Um,
I think so too.
and
Yeah.
and where it nets out, yeah. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of player agents all over the place.
I see it. But the exciting academy for sure. So, hey.
Oh, I've just seen a comment. Luca, big up Luca. Everyone subscribe to Luca AFC. His post game rants are legendary.
Yeah.
But anyway, Man
Pick
City
up
will
Luca.
win. Haaland to score first. If that happens,
Luca, back
any
your team. Come on, Luca.
any
Back your team.
yeah, but any remnants of hope that we have as a family, oh no, like we knew this would happen and we
I
prayed it
mean,
wouldn't,
yeah,
but
I do
the
follow Luca
inevitable
on
has
Twitter,
happened.
and whoo,
I'm
No,
I'll
we won't allow it.
I'll say this. I'll say this. There's an odd confidence now, and again, it's only because of recent form, that if we were to be a goal down, I would still have confidence in the team to still rally and get the result,
Oh,
because
yeah.
because as Arsenal have proven to do, they've gone up 2 goals, right? And allowed teams to come back. So I wouldn't be stressing. Normally another platinum would grow out of this
oh,
beard.
they gotta be
Uh,
3-0 up, and then you can be like, okay, but
yeah,
two,
yeah, yeah.
mm, you
I
know,
would I would I would counter that with we have also shown this season to come back from being goals down, and
That's
even most
true.
recently when we were down on our knees 3-1 against Southampton, we still managed to claw back a draw.
That is
yeah,
true.
So it'd be interesting. It was
very
ooh,
interesting.
so
Oh,
excited.
yes. And last question here, Raider. From Ravi, how long do you give Pep to win the Champions League? Hmm?
Why do you have to ask me that?
We went for so
Uh,
long without the Champions League discussion.
I just, wanted to sneak that in. This
how
is a
much
safe space, by
longer?
the way, babe.
It's
Safe
the only
No,
space.
I'm
thing
with
you.
you. I'm with you. I've never heard it asked that way. How much longer do I give Pep to win it?
Yeah, Ravi is
Um,
spot on with the questions. Oh,
this is not going to be a cop out, but I'm going to give him as long as his contract is at City.
when
So,
is it? 2027?
so we've
Is that?
we've got him until this 2023 now, 2024. We've got him until 2025.
Ooh,
If
okay.
he Now, he's got until 2025 to do it. If he chooses to extend his contract, he's got until the extension of that contract. I'd be a fool. I'd be a fool to say, Pep, get out of here. You have not won us the Champions
Oh
League. I'm
no, no,
getting
no.
somebody else. But yeah, that's my cop out answer.
Okay, fair, fair. It'll be
I will say this. I will hold these players accountable.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm very surprised with how we've looked in Champions League, given the exit of a Sterling, Jesus, and Zinchenko. Like those players have left, as well as the commanding presence that we had with Fernandinho. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
surprised with how good we've been in the Champions League, and I'm also surprised with the addition of Alvarez and Haaland year one on how well we're playing. So it was never a we must win this year, although we show that we have quality enough to do it. I would say that we hold true to this same squad. I would almost arrogantly, and this goes against Manchester City fans, but I would arrogantly say we have to win it next year. I would have to say we have to win it next year with this squad. A year or two for Holland and Alvarez, and everyone just being that much
Oh,
better.
yeah. This,
Um,
yeah. It's like you're being kind of favorites
yeah, again,
for a long.
we end up getting favorites, never have won it, so
Yeah,
it is. But
for me, I still, this is not me trying to be like once again biased or whatnot. I still don't think it's gonna be Man City. I think they're not gonna do it this season, but at some point they will. I just don't
mm,
think it's gonna be this season. But that's me.
It
That's
could
me.
be this
It
season
could
though.
be. It
it
could be.
could,
But
it
I'm gonna
could.
back my second team, Inter Milan. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Go
Inter.
on, yes, the
Yeah.
Milans. Milan, darling, Milan.
Yes, yes, yes. For sure. But we will see. But guys, I need your predicted score. What? Hey, once again, safe space. Fran, what do you think will happen tomorrow? Sister,
Oh,
come on. You just back your team. Go ahead.
I back my team, right? I'm going to back my team. I said I was very much like, we're not going to win the league, we're not going to win the league, until about a couple of months ago. Then I was like, damn it, we're going to win the league. And I said, at this point in the season, if things aren't going well, then, I've drawn my sword and I'll fall onto my sword.
Hey,
Screw it. So let's do that again.
yeah.
Um, let's win it 2-1. Come on, the
Ooh.
Gunners.
Hey, okay.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know. It could be
Two
like
one.
more convincing. It would be nice to see a 3-1.
Ooh.
But that's
But would
the
you would be okay with the drive? I mean, yeah. As long as you don't
um,
lose. But you would. I mean, I would.
I want a win. I want a win.
Hey.
Just had, but I'll take a draw.
No, I get that. I get that. But
But
I
I
see
want
your
to
point.
win.
Like if you
It's
would
it's just
prefer
it's
to.
really
Yeah.
it's really
No, no.
needed, really needed. Like people, the whole narrative, Arsenal bottled the league, Arsenal bottled the league, and we've been saying every game like this needs to be a statement win, and then we draw to Southampton and we drew to West Ham. This would be the statement win. This is where we see like, do they have the guts? And throughout the season, there's
Yes.
been many moments where they've proved that they have, and if we did, it would just shut everyone up. um,
I think so. Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I want the team to win and how much we
Yeah.
need it. But
Because you
so
have
yeah,
already played them twice, in the FA Cup,
we lost
and
both
then,
times.
your leg and whatnot. So, okay, it hasn't gone right and whatnot, but then
But
you
we
kind
know
of
what to
need to be
expect.
like, Arteta, we got to do something a little bit different now.
Mm,
We've seen them twice. I know it's not
mm.
our ground, it's the Etihad. What can we do?
Yeah,
What can we do?
I think we'll know seeing the lineup, and the first 5 minutes you can kind of tell, like, especially recently, how good we're going to be defensively. So
Good point.
the key is we just really need to stay calm. That's the thing, because the pressure's getting to the boys. Obviously, we just really need to stay calm, be
Mm-hmm.
defensively solid, not panic on the ball. If we just remain calm, we've shown that we've got the quality
Calm
that
and
it
collected.
takes to win this league and to potentially beat City. It's just
Yeah.
calm, you know. But if the occasion gets them, then we're screwed. So
Hey, I see it.
yeah.
Vader, go ahead.
Okay. I usually don't do this. I predict that we
Ooh,
win, but I don't
okay.
do scores because I like to
Okay.
see the lineup, and then I'm able to
Ah,
kind of see where our chances are coming from. But
okay.
I'm gonna definitely say I see City winning. I see I see I see the City fans at the Etihad being loud, obnoxious, relentless
Oh,
fans
Wait, Etihad
tomorrow.
loud. What?
woo!
Etihad, yeah,
Shots
don't
fired.
do that. Don't do that. But no, I see them being up for it because again, many fans had to choose: are they traveling to Bayern? Are they traveling to Wembley? And I think many of the fans were like, I am not missing this Arsenal game.
Yeah,
So
true.
I think it's going to be rocking in there. Um,
Yeah, they're gonna
and
be.
I think it,
Everybody's gonna be up for it, on
yeah,
that game.
everyone's going to
Our
be up
fans
for
will
it.
be louder.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, we'll see. I'll be listening on TV, so I'll have my ear to the
Me
speaker.
too.
um,
I'm so excited.
I'm ex- I'm,
yes.
I'm expecting actually a similar scoreline to when we played at the Emirates. I think it's going to be a late. It's going to be 2-2, a 2-1. It's going to be really cagey. It's going to be a 2-1, and I think late in that game, maybe just a, a little added quality that comes on, and we get that third goal. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Ooh, Okay.
Yeah.
What do I feel? I'm in the middle here. What do I
You know
think?
what? You know what? I do have to drop. I'm so sorry, but you've been a fantastic host. You've been amazing. I've enjoyed your channel because I've tuned in many times.
Yeah.
I find it hard that your heart is probably not your heart, not your football analysis, but your heart has to be weighed on Arsenal. You don't want City to win another league title. So I think your heart is going towards Arsenal and this win because
Give us
it
your
may
heart,
My God.
your
Oh,
blessing.
I'm just like, oh, why
save
why
space.
are we here? You know what? 2-2.
Oh, 2-2. Okay,
That's
two
fair.
two.
That's
I'll
fair.
take it. I'll take it.
I think I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll
I
take it.
think I think it could be a draw. But would you take that, debater? Would you be like, hey, I'll take a draw?
It depends on how we play.
Okay.
If it's because we were sloppy and it's a 2-2, then
Mm,
I wouldn't like that because I would hope we'd play for the occasion and put a result. But if it's like a matter of because I've seen this again also playing against Liverpool. If it's a brilliant game, like
Yeah.
chances and saves and it was just that level of quality and it ends up being a 2-2, then I'll take it for what it is. And we then now have to win our next. You then have to win your next and we go at it that way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Um
just getting fears of just you guys fully going for it and our defense being as leaky as it was against Southampton. It could honestly be like a 6-0.
Oh my God.
uh,
They got. I
but
mean, they got to be up for it. Like Arsenal,
mm,
there's no room
Yeah.
for error for neither teams. Everybody got to be like, hey,
Yeah.
it's legit.
Oh boy.
But
I'm
yeah,
so nervous,
that's
man.
at the end of the day. I just want to see some good football, man. I
Yeah.
just want
I
to see
think
some
Yeah, it's
exciting football.
guaranteed to be like no manager, neither of these two managers ever traditionally park the bus, do they? And I don't see it being like a
Mm.
stalemate, dead game. Like it never is between our two teams. Um, so should be a good
sorry,
one.
sorry, girls. I have to drop.
That's fine.
I was doing a fan like enjoying the show. Host, host with the most. I look forward to hopefully getting another invite, and
Oh, 100%.
in a future, maybe the FA final. I'll
Oh
invite
yeah,
you, and we
brother,
can
you're
link
coming
up.
on for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yay!
100%. Thank you for
Nice.
taking the time to be on. I appreciate it.
No, 100%. And
Yes.
again, if you anyone in the chat right now, if you haven't already, please hit the like button and spread the word. Share this in a group chat. She deserves way more subs. This is
Yeah.
a fantastic channel. And Fran, so nice meeting you. And good luck. Good luck
We need it.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
But yeah, I hope to talk to you both of you soon.
Awesome.
Yes,
Big up.
absolutely. I'd love to. I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Same
Yes.
here.
People subscribe to Vader's channel. Like I said, it is linked in the title and in the description box as well. So make sure
Thanks
you
so
do
much.
subscribe to him. Oh, no
All right.
problem. Have a good
Bless.
one, mate. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Enjoy the game.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to just add to that. This has definitely been the most enjoyable stream I've ever been on. You're
Well,
so great at like hosting
thank
and
you.
like making, and when we say something you're like, good point. And it's so nice. I love it. I love it. I really, this has definitely been my
Oh,
favorite stream I've ever been
oh,
on. So
thank you.
I'd
I mean, it's
love to chat with you again sometime.
oh 100%, friend. It's been lovely to have you on. So definitely going to make sure that I have you on for a future show or two. Like, yo, it's been very nice, lovely. So big up to you. Yes, people. We're gonna be wrapping it up here right now. Fran, where can the people find you again?
Yeah, so
Pick
my
up your stuff.
YouTube is Goal Art, so which can they see the name there?
Yeah, 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 yeah. They
Oh,
see
right,
it.
yeah. So that's my YouTube, and the same on Instagram where you can see like more of my artwork and stuff. So yeah, I say my main thing is artwork, but then you can also come to my channel for questionable but enthusiastic football opinions. Yeah,
Love it.
but art first.
Yes.
Yes, you should go and big up where they can find you as
Thank you.
per.
Pick up, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I mean, you can find me here on the channel. I will be back tomorrow to do a watch along for this game. Also going to do a match preview for the Spurs Man United game before the watch along. So that's going to be interesting and whatnot. And how does Field Town Fan TV did ask me, Sophia, will you be doing a watch along to the Man United game on Thursday? I wasn't planning to, but I might do it. I need to kind of see because when I'm off from work, I'll have like an hour to be able to get ready for that game. So we will see potentially. If not, I'm definitely going to be doing a match reaction regardless for that game. So yeah, but I'll let you guys know. But yeah, people, Rose is subscribed. You're a nice person, friend. Awesome.
That's the
Yes.
best compliment. I love being
Oh,
called nice.
100%. People, once again, do subscribe to Fran's channel. It is linked in the
Yes.
title
Road to
as well as
500,
Vader's.
baby.
Oh, yes. Let's make that happen. Come on, to the people that's watching this on the replay, make sure you do subscribe to Fran.
Oh,
Jordan said I
thank you
subscribe to
guys.
you, Fran.
Thank you.
Yes. Great community over here. Good, good, good. Big up, people.
Yeah.
Fran is a G. I agree. She is indeed 100%. But yeah, guys. Big up to everyone. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you do subscribe to this channel as well and give it a like. I do appreciate it. And if you want to become a member, I do have a link in the pinned comment, but also in the description box. Or just click the join button underneath the video if you're watching this on like a browser and whatnot. So yeah, Amir says, Fran, Vader, and
Come
Sophia
on.
goats. Thank
That was
you.
so
Thank
good.
you.
The conversation just flowed. I could have talked football for hours with you guys.
Ah, 100% same. I loved it.
Yeah, mean.
Awesome. But yeah, see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a nice day wherever you are in the world. Big up. We are out. Bye bye. Peace.
Are you all right? Yes. No, you are all left.